I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Camilla, may we please have a roll call of members?
Mr. Francis.
Here.
Mrs. Irwin Adams. Mrs. McGinnis.
Here.
Mr. Mignon.
Here.
Mr. Cook. Mr. Pacifico. Mr. McCauley.
Here.
Mr. Pappas. Mr. Romanowitz.
Here. Thank you. Before we get started, I'd like to announce that we had an executive session prior to this meeting to discuss some personnel issues. Now we'll get moving under item 2, special presentations 2025 National Merit Scholarship Program. We have a couple people to be recognized.
Good evening, Rosemary and Courtney. Join me up here. So AHS is proud to announce and recognize our 2 National Merit Commended Scholars for the class of 2025. The National Merit Scholarship Program is based on the College Board's PSAT, or Preliminary Scholastic Aptitude Test. Each year, nearly 1.5 million students nationwide take the PSAT. Commended National Scholars comprise just the top 2 to 3% of all test takers across the nation. That roughly comes out to about 34,000 students. This is a scholastic rarefied air, to be sure. This year, we recognize Courtney Irwin and Rosemary Way for achieving National Merit Commended Scholar status. This accomplishment reflects a dedication to academics by these 2 very deserving AHS seniors. These young women represent the best of AHS. Their accomplishment is one to celebrate and to honor. It is my honor to present these 2 very deserving students to you this evening. Please join me in a round of applause to recognize this accomplishment. So Courtney and Rosemary, we applaud your hard work and accomplishment, and we look forward to what your very bright futures may hold. Thank you. We have your certificates. Rosemary, you're welcome. Courtney. And they're already on their way for a photo op.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody. It's nice to see everybody here supporting these young ladies. We'll move on to item 3, hearing from citizens. Do we have anybody here who would like to step up and speak to us? Nobody? Okay. We'll get moving. Under item 4, we just have approval of the regular board meeting minutes from October 21st, 2024. Looking for a motion to approve those minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Would anybody like to discuss anything? Okay. All in favor of approving these board minutes from October 21st, 2024, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next, under item 5, we have 2 items. Under A, we have list of payments. Under B, we have financial reports. I would accept a motion to approve both items.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Would anybody like to discuss anything? If not, I'll do my routine. So in the list of payments, I saw that we spent approximately 450 some $1,000 on payments to cyber charter schools, which represents about 16 to 17% of the total payments I saw, which was like, I don't know, $2.4 million, something like that. Looked like there were like maybe 8 to 10 different entities. Would it be possible at some point, Camilla, to share with the board how many students we have with each entity and what the tuition is at those entities? I'd like to see the difference in tuitions. And I think another thing we should probably consider looking at on a routine basis and reporting on is if we're able to identify any teachers lost to cyber charter schools outside of here. I just like to keep it the item on the list for the public to be aware because it's a significant amount of money. And I think we should just make it, it could be a regular report, you know, and in most businesses, there's, you know, KPIs, key performance indicators. To me, this is a critical one for us. So I'd like to keep tabs on it. And I would bring up one other, I was just curious, I saw a significant payment to the Ligonier School District. Like, I know we pay tuitions to other school districts, but it was like, is it a family? Like it was like 24,000 or something.
It is likely the educational cost for a student that's in placement.
Okay.
If I recall correctly, we have a student placed in that vicinity. And that's normally what it would be.
It could have been for the whole last year.
Mhm.
That's what I was looking to see if it said 23-24 school year. Sometimes the school districts wait until the end of the year before they invoice us.
Okay. And I obviously see that side of it, but is a similar thing happening for us? Are there any students here that we're getting these similar payments for?
we'd have to be responsible for the education of a private entity here. Most of the private entities in our area are supplying the education. So for example, a Soaring Heights or Amerikey, some of the other private placements that are here, we have students placed there, so we're paying the educational cost. The cost it goes to the school district of residence. So if the student is from your school district but attending elsewhere,
Gotcha.
you're paying that educational piece of it. Even for a student that might be placed by juvenile probation or the courts or whatever it may be, if their district of residence is Altoona, we pay. So the district of residence pays the educational cost for that student.
Okay. Thanks. Anybody else? Okay. All in favor of approving items 5A and B, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll move on to number 6, which is the policy section. So we have several policies. The final readings: discipline of students with disabilities, behavior support, threat assessment, educational opportunity for military children, GASB Statement 34, therapy dogs in school, school security personnel, and whistleblower. As I recall, not too much controversial there, but seeking a motion to approve those final readings of those policies. Do I have a second? Would anybody like to discuss any of these policies? Okay. All in favor of approving the final readings of all the policies listed, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next, 7, education. We have the Altoona Area High School request approval for the formation of a new student club, the AAHS Care Club. The club is planning to spread community awareness about cancer and how it impacts those who have it, as well as their family and friends. Mr. Tom Palfy and Ms. Jessica Hogan are the club faculty sponsors. The club was presented to our administration by Margaret Browse, 11th grade student. Good for her. Next, we have the list of secondary field trips to be approved. Under C, we have administration requests approval of the following addendum with impact counseling, with Altoona Area School District Elementary Schools. Under D, we have our volunteer approval list. And under E, we have the board submission for teacher induction completion. So I would seek approval of a motion to approve items 7A through E. Can I have a motion from anybody? Anyone with a second?
Second.
Okay. Anybody like to discuss any of these items?
Just something real quick.
Sure.
Over the years, I've approved a lot of student activities, but this hit me, the one we're presenting tonight, the Care Club. You know, cancer is a terrible, terrible disease, and mostly everyone at this table has been affected by it one way or another. And you know, thank God I'm a survivor. And what they want to do is hopefully, you know, bring awareness to this terrible disease. And I admire the young lady that came forward, Miss Browse, to start this. And I wish this club the best. You know, to help someone with cancer. And, you know, and one thing you hear when you say you have cancer is you just shut down. And it's hard to believe. And in my case, I was fortunate, but other cases I saw parents and I saw relatives suffer because of this disease. And hopefully, they'll make some sort of dent. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Are we still on questions? Yeah, he took me off track. Thanks. I appreciate the input, Dave. So anybody else? Okay. All right. All in favor of approving items 7A through 7E, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next, we move on to number 8, personnel agenda items. Quite a few there. It look like more additions than subtractions, which I guess is good. It's always horrible to lose somebody. Looks like we lost some good folks, but seeking a motion to approve items 8 or item 8A. Do I have a motion? I have a second. Okay. Would anybody like to discuss any of the items on the personnel agenda? Okay. All in favor of approving item 8A, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Under 9, we have district-wide security camera upgrade administration requests and recommends acceptance of the proposal from Watkins Security LLC to install upgrade cameras in the Altoona Area School District. Total price, including contingency, not to exceed $1,485,000. Payment will be made from the Capital Reserve Fund. Next, under B, administration requests and recommends approval to install building-wide paging system in the Stevens Building. Cost has been negotiated based on the PA CoStarz contract. Total cost not to exceed $17,500. Payment to be made from Capital Reserve Fund. Next is Stevens Alarm System. Administration requests and recommends approval to upgrade the fire alarm system in the Stevens Building. Cost has been negotiated based on the PA CoStarz contract. Total cost not to exceed $42,000. Payment to be made from Capital Reserve. We have the list of repository bids from the Blair County Tax Claim Bureau. We have a list of capital projects to be paid. A list of Capital Reserve, list of payments to be made. We have the spring sports bid that was itemized for us. And we have administration requests under item H. Administration requests and recommends transferring $3 million from the general fund to the Capital Reserve Fund. The amount will be used to fund future capital improvement needs. So I am seeking a motion to approve items 9A through H. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Okay. Would anybody like to discuss any of these items? Okay. All in favor of approving items 9A through H, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. New business. Use of facilities under item A. Administration recommends retroactive approval for the use of the Altoona Area Junior High School parking lot Saturday, November 9th, by food trucks to benefit the families of the two school district students who recently passed away. The certificate of insurance is attached. I, as a music lover, attended that to see the Pines and to just enjoy the atmosphere. And it was a nice, I don't know if anybody else made it there, but it was a really nice event. And people seemed to be rolling in and out of there and donating money and buying stuff. So it was a really nice event and went off without a hitch. Under B, athletic use of facilities, as every year, the school district athletics office requests approval of the We Care Foundation to use Mansion Park on Wednesday, November 27th, 2024 for the purpose of the Turkey Bowl football game fundraiser. The rental agreement and certificate of insurance is attached. Seeking a motion to approve those two items, 10A and B. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Would anybody like to discuss any of those? Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to committee reports. Do we have any committee chair reports? Seeing none. Board president's report, I have none. Student representative report. Gracie, do you have a report for us? Have at it.
Good evening. As you walked in this evening, you hopefully saw the handcrafted origami doves on the balcony. The project was organized by the art department to honor Keegan Smith Price and London Treese. All students were welcome to partake in this tribute, and about 800 doves were made. Students are excitedly awaiting Thanksgiving break, but we're still hard at work engaging in various community events. On the 31st, to celebrate Halloween, student council sponsored a trick-or-treat event here at the high school for the children of the faculty and staff. Over the past weekend, the drama club put their fall play with a production of Trap. It was really good. From November 20th to the 23rd, the junior high is planning a production of The Wizard of Oz. And the annual talent show is also set to happen on the 15th in the Black Box Theater from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Two cross-country runners, Dean Sunderland Ebersole and Ashlyn Nost, represented Altoona in the PIAA cross-country championship meet that took place in Hershey. They both did very well. Also in sports accomplishments, the Lady Lions soccer team had a great season that came to an end on Tuesday the 6th. The mock election sponsored by the Youth and Government Club was also quite successful. We had nearly 600 students cast their votes. The club is run by Mr. John Blau, and the club is also seeking local leaders in the government to come speak to the club. Student writers for the Mountain Echo, notably Melissa Craner, have also taken initiative in interviewing local candidates. This past Friday, the 26th, the 26th annual Juniata Gap Day of the Arts took place. Students had fun drawing, making music, dancing, and more. Also on Friday, advisors Mr. Tom Fox and Mr. John Blau took students involved in the Patriotic Student Alliance Club to the Hollidaysburg Veterans Home to serve the veterans a Thanksgiving dinner. Thank you.
Thanks, Gracie. Mr. Hatch, do you have a report for us?
Just very briefly, just want to echo some of Gracie's comments. Had the opportunity to attend the play, the parade yesterday, numerous things that are going on throughout the school district, Day of the Arts over at Juniata Gap. The talent and the work ethic of our students and our staff just continues to really amaze me. And we have amazing people here. The wonderful things that are going on with our student body is phenomenal. And I just want to commend them for the reaction to the tragic death and loss of two of our students. The way that our staff and our community and our student body responded was nothing short of commendable. And I want to thank you guys for continuing to do what you do, thanking our staff for the commitment that they continue to show on a daily basis, whether it be instructionally, serving, with clubs, with two advisors step up to advise the care club that we approved tonight. We have great things going on here in the school district. So I want to thank everyone for what you continue to do, thank our administrative team for what you continue to facilitate, and thank our board for continuing to support all of the efforts and trusting in the staff and the students and the community to continue to do what's right for Altoona. So thank you.
Okay, under number 12, for information only, we have a list of payments for college credits with a slight revision included from the previous month, and we have a technology committee summary also. We'll move on to 13. Do we have an employee unions response? Seeing none. Middle management? No. Mr. Beard, anything to report?
Well, as you know, over the last year, we talked about Title IX. We're going to migrate away from that because the 10th Circuit is hearing that Kansas Federal District Court case in light of what occurred on November 5th. I'm quite sure you're going to see a change, come January 20th. So a lot of the Title IX things that we thought were going to be full speed ahead might be clawed back or modified in some way. So with our next educational law report, we'll be focusing on some other issues that are interesting fact patterns as to what may have occurred in classrooms and what the courts found offensive as to items that might appear in curriculum and the same. And you'll see an uptick in courts looking to parental rights as to items that might find its way into the classroom under curriculum related items. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have seeking a motion to adjourn this meeting. Okay. I thought everybody wanted to hang out some more. Okay. Do I have a second? All right. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?